all about Scorpio part 50. I know it's been a long time that I haven't posted. I think it's about 5 months. The last time I actually uploaded an audio about Scorpios. I'm so sorry about that because I've been busy in a lot of things. But anyway, I just feel like sharing this topic. It's quite interesting that I can also resonate with. And the topic is all about what makes a Scorpio hurt, or what does a Scorpio do when they're hurt, or breakups, about dealing with breakups and all that. Although I've never had a relationship, but I could resonate with it in such a way that I have had an experience in the past where I detached from someone that I used to like or that I really had feelings for. So I guess even though it wasn't really, a really deep relationship yet, or it never came to that point where it's an established and official relationship, I could definitely resonate with it. So I'm going to share my personal experience as well later. But without any further ado, let's begin first with the signs when a Scorpio is not interested in you anymore. Actually, on this article, and by the way, this is by lovedivani.com. You go check out that website. I got interested when I check out that article, and I don't think this only applies as well for Scorpio men, but also for Scorpio women, because originally it says here, what are the signs when a Scorpio man is not interested? So I guess this would apply also for Scorpio women, but let's see. All right, the first one would be he is showing rude behavior. Scorpio is gentle to his lover. He treats her in the most romantic and tender way possible. But when he has lost his interest, just like a venomous Scorpio, he stings. Beware of the rude behavior, like speaking in high tone and the use of harsh words. Oh my God, Scorpio, when they are really mad and when they lash out at you, expect those harsh, biting, icy words, I could relate with that. As for me, of course, not everything is based on zodiac signs, but definitely when a Scorpio is hurt, they can say the most painful words that will linger forever, just saying, Number 2, he becomes cold towards you. As if things can't be any worse, he becomes very, very cold towards you to the point that you don't think you exist for him. His behavior toward you is colder than ice, answering your question one short word and nothing more. This is so freaking true. Scorpios are actually ice queen or ice king when they get really, really mad or when they're done, I could personally share that to you, that I've experienced that. And I've even read on this book by Linda Goodman. I really love Linda Goodman, Sun Signs. She wrote there that when a Scorpio is actually really hurt or when they get mad and when they're done, they can turn to the iciest queen ever. Like no emotions at all, that their facial features would even obey. And that is so true because that happened to me. And I know it's like really, really cold up to a point that it's like that person no longer exists or that person is nothing to you anymore. I hope that other Scorpios listening to this would also share their experience if they also had that, or they also could resonate with that. Because in my case, yes, I do. I mean, I completely resonate with that. I remember in the past, like I could totally like walk over or just walk past someone, not to do with love, but walk past someone as if I never knew that person, as if I never had a deep conversation or a deep relationship, not romantic though, but deep relationship with that person. When we're done, we're done. We're not going to look back anymore. Scorpios can be very, very cold. Which is funny because I also have this swords energy, which is air sign. My rising sign is Libra and my moon sign is Aquarius. So and Librans or air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, they're they're also very cold. They're also very cold when they get mad. They will cut you off, So it's funny because I have both signs. I have Scorpio as my sun, and then air signs, another of my part of my natal chart. So it's really funny. But again, going back about being cold, yes, I had that experience where I can just turn completely different. Like I never knew you. You never existed, So don't wait for a Scorpio to become like that, because majority of the Scorpios, once they become the ice queens or the ice kings, there's no turning back. At least based on my experience. Like if I say no, or I'm done, or I'm just over it. Basically, we don't look back anymore, whether that's friendship or whether that's romantic connection or whatever. So there you go. So share if you had that same experience as well. Scorpio becoming cold, like an ice queen or an ice king. Number 3, he is no longer passionate to you. It says here, as he is not interested in you anymore, all the passions he used to have has also gone. Maybe he thinks he's slowly seeing the signs. I'm wasting my time with her. At this point, you should reflect on yourself too. That is so true. Number 4, your gut feeling sense is lie. That is so true, because never lie to Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio can sense it. Scorpios are known to be the detectives of the zodiac. Like they could really, they can read you like an x-ray, They have even, sorry for the term, but bullshit detector, lie detector within them that is so innate. It's so natural or so normal for Scorpios. So yeah, women has always this feeling whenever her man is lying to her. Not once or twice, you sense that somehow he's lying to you, probably from his body language, or he's making excuse of something impossible for him to do. So both Scorpio man and women are very good lie detectors. So don't you dare lie to a Scorpio. Just be real. Be true to yourself. Okay? Number 5, he takes time to reply to you. So he takes longer and even longer to reply for your text message or whatever. We all know men doesn't bother to reply text directly, but is it normal to always take that long time every time you text him? Something smells fishy right here. Yeah, so that's one of the signs that a Scorpio, whether that's a man or a woman, when they're no longer interested in you because they don't want to waste their time, And I guess those are the pretty clear signs as well that a Scorpio is starting to lose interest, because Scorpio, when they are passionate with someone, you would really feel it. Scorpios do not sugarcoat things, When they love you, they love you. When they like you, they would show it. They don't have to say it, but they will, show it, So when a Scorpio is starting to lose interest, those are one of the signs that there is something fishy going on, and maybe it's time to fix it if you really want to fix the relationship. Another sign would be he rejects your calls. What can be worse than him ignoring your text for hours? Rejecting your calls. Yep, even if it's not you. Rejecting calls is considered something rude, but he doesn't seem to hesitate to do it. He does it all the time instead. Oh, wow. Number 7, in the end, they cut all the contacts with you. If he has been taking forever to reply to your text and missing your calls like for 1 million times, it's only about time until he cuts all the communications with you. When it comes to love, Scorpio is rather coward, but it's undoubtedly the signs he's falling out of love for you. So that's true. That's what I did as well in the past. That's one of the things I notice about myself when I'm done with a person, whether that's a friendship. In fact, it happened to me last year when I decided to disengage and disconnect and detach from a friend because of the things that is starting to become very toxic. And of course, to protect my space, and this is also a sign of self-love and self-worth, you have no choice but to detach or to disengage from people who's no longer serving you. So this is not only just about love, okay? Although we're talking about Scorpio breakups, or, when a Scorpio is hurt and all that. But this, goes as well when, to friendships or other things. But yeah, I'm the type of person that when I'm done with you, I'm going to cut off everything, all the communication, all the contacts, because again, a Scorpio is not after shallow connections. Scorpios are very deep people. Doesn't mean that they don't know how to lighten up, but it's just that Scorpios do not go for shallow, fake conversations or fake connections fake connections. They go for deep and meaningful connections. And so once a Scorpio is done, they would definitely just cut you off. Later on, I'm going to share what my personal experience was and how I could relate to this, because everything is, almost everything that I've seen on these articles, pretty much rings true for me. But just to go on and move to the next sign, it says here, he takes revenge on you. Oh man. Does Scorpio man hold grudges? Yes, he is. If on the past you have done a mistake such as cheating or flirting with other guys, he would likely take revenge on you. He may say he forgive you, but he definitely won't forget about it. That's true. Scorpio will never forget. They can forgive, but they will never forget. Number 9, he distances himself from you. When he doesn't feel comfortable around you anymore, he will look for comfort somewhere else, which makes him more and more distant from you. He never runs out of excuses to avoid you, like hanging out with his friends or spending the night working overtime. Excuses are excuses. And here are more signs that they are no longer interested on you. Number 1, he always makes excuse for his late reply and all the calls he missed all these time. Number 2, he doesn't take you to meet his family, and if you have, he no longer involve you in his family affair anymore. Number 3, he is more interested in spending his time with his friends instead of you. Number 4, there is no you in his future plans. Either it's a wedding, children, or vacation for the next weekend. Number 5, he hesitates in all kind of things. He can make sure define his own decision. It's the reasons why Scorpios are hard to understand. Number 6, this particular woman's name keep popping out between his talks recently, very much showing the characteristics of a Scorpio in love. Number 7, he prepares many reasons as to why he needs to end things with you, whether it's his career, educations, or life has been very exhausting for him. Number 8, your relationship become less passionate. There are no more physical contacts. Number 9, you start to feel the changes in him. And number 10, no longer romantic dates for just the two of you. So that's the first one. Again, you might as well, if you're interested, can go ahead to lovedivani.com. It's just really interesting, especially in some of the examples written on here, which I can totally relate with. Okay. But now let's go ahead and check out what happens when a Scorpio woman is hurt. Let me pause just a little bit. I'm just going to drink some water. Okay, I'm back. All right, so this time, this is by astrologycosmos.com. You better check that out. It says here, what happens when a Scorpio woman is hurt? If you have made the mistake of hurting a Scorpio woman, watch out. The best thing you can do when a Scorpio woman is hurt is come clean right away. Tell her exactly what you did, why you did it, and how you're going to change. She might listen to you if you explain the problem yourself, but she will never trust you again if she hears about cheating from someone else. If you do cheat on a Scorpio woman and she finds out from someone else, then you can expect the worst. She might just break up with you, but she also might plan out her revenge. As soon as you make a terrible mistake, be honest with her and hope for the best. It is your only hope for getting out the mess you are in. So what happens really when a Scorpio woman is hurt? After a Scorpio woman is hurt by someone she cares about, she can go through a range of mood swings. That's so true. In one moment, she seems to understand and come to terms with the issue. In the next minute, she is bawling her eyes out alone. There is a potential danger to look out for when a Scorpio woman is hurt. This zodiac sign is known for having an intuitive sense of how other people are feeling. Oh, God. And that is so true. I can't help but laugh. In many cases, this means that the Scorpio has the capacity to be a master manipulator. This tendency might not appear at all during good times, but she can resort to manipulation to hurt you or make you stay with her. If she does resort to manipulation, it will only hurt her more because she will end up feeling sad and guilty for her actions. That's so true. So Scorpio people, do not ever do that, all right? Because, all those bad behavior that people are doing towards you, it's just a reflection of who they are. So don't waste your time in planning out for some revenge. I used to be like that. Being a Scorpio, I used to take revenge. I always believe in the saying, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But sometimes it just, it's not worth it anymore. Don't waste your energy on hurting other people. So again, that's just an advice. But anyway, it says here, the good news is that this manipulative ability comes from her innate sense of empathy. The Scorpio woman can connect deeply with her lover, her friends, and family members. If you are smart enough to tell her what happened and why right away, she will understand your point of view, even if she will never agree with it. Now, how to get a Scorpio woman to forgive you? Let's see. Scorpios is known for quickly taking offense, so it is unsurprising that they are also prone to holding grudges. When the offense is severe enough, the Scorpio woman will end the relationship and never bother to look back. That is so freaking true. So when you hurt a Scorpio woman, you have hurt more than just her dignity. You have cut her deep, and it will take more than a basic apology to win her affection again. Another zodiac sign might accept your humble apologies, but a Scorpio needs you to understand exactly what you did and why it was so awful. The Scorpio woman expects and accepts nothing less than a sincere, heartfelt apology. Her desire for a sincere apology is also a warning sign for your future. If you apologize now and then do the exact same thing again, she will never forgive you for it. She will not understand how you could possibly profess your contrition in one moment and then hurt her again in the next. If you're asking your Scorpio woman for forgiveness, you need to be smart enough to avoid making the same mistake twice. So true. This is so freaking true. If you want her to accept your apology, start by analyzing what you did wrong. She will want you to understand your mistake and be remorseful, so spend some time thinking things over first. A Scorpio woman knows that people have to understand their mistake or they will just repeat them. When you're finally ready, go to your Scorpio woman, be completely honest with her, and show your remorse. Now, what does a Scorpio woman hate in a relationship? This is interesting as well. If you want to have a good relationship with a Scorpio woman, your best bet is to avoid hurting her at all. When a Scorpio woman is hurt, you have a few options for solving a problem, but it is definitely easier to avoid such a problem in the first place. To make sure that you are the right match for your Scorpio woman, avoid doing the following things that a Scorpio woman hates in a relationship. Number 1, flirtatious dates. If someone told you that women like it when you play hard to get, they definitely weren't talking about a Scorpio woman. Once she is interested in a guy, she can become intensely jealous when he is flirting with someone else. She wants a faithful partner, so don't try to raise her hackles by flirting with another lady. So true. Because Scorpios are very loyal, I guess. And the fact that you're flirting most of the time with other women, it's like it's gonna question, it's gonna make a Scorpio question you more. Like, all right, so this person's kind of like, into into shallow, things like, flirting around, dating around, things like that. So I guess it's going to question Scorpio's trust on you. So if you are really into her, then make her feel like, yeah, I'm into you. I'm not going to go around and flirt and with other women. So I guess that's, a tip as well for those people who's actually into a Scorpio woman. If you are actually into flirting with other women and then you're also trying to show her that she is something that you're eyeing on, don't do that, because the Scorpio would just feel like, am I just one of your, your adventures or something like that? We Scorpios wouldn't appreciate that, definitely. So if you are really interested in her, show her that you are, but not just, show her that you like her and then you just go around, flirting with other women, because that's sending a lot of mixed signals. Next would be, or number 2, a lack of commitment. When she's still young, a Scorpio woman might play the field and date around. As she matures, she will start looking for a deep connection and a serious commitment with her partner. If you refuse to even open up the possibility of committing, she will hate it. Again, because Scorpios, they go for deep, meaningful connections. So if you're just playing around or you just wanted to have an open relationship, or, I don't think that most Scorpio women would like that, because she doesn't go for very lame or, again, shallow connections. Next one would be being controlled. The typical Scorpio likes to be in control of herself, her house, and her life. If you are a control freak, she won't hang around for long. While you have a right to an opinion, never try to force your own beliefs or opinions onto a Scorpio woman. If you want to convince a Scorpio woman to do something, focus on building a rational, strong argument instead. Next one would be mundane, boring people. A Scorpio woman is naturally curious and she hates being bored. She loves mysterious people and learning about the magical side of life. If you're a fairly boring, average person, try spicing things up with adventure, or some adventure that a Scorpio doesn't get bored. Next one would be lying. Oh my God, I so love this. Just about everyone hates liars, regardless of the zodiac sign. But a Scorpio woman can actually tell when you're lying. She's like a human lie detector that spots fibs and deception around her. If she discovers they've been lying to her, good luck getting her forgiveness. Being ignored. You might be busy at the office, but you can definitely send a quick text that says you will call later. If you completely ignore a Scorpio woman's calls or texts, she will become extremely upset. She hates being ignored. So, an experience with a Scorpio. Again, we also don't like boring people, Again, like what I said earlier about the shallow part, Scorpios don't go for shallow, fake conversations or fake relationships. It's just, for me personally, I think that's so pathetic. And I don't want my time to be wasted. I go for people who are authentic. I go for people who are real, who knows what they want, who is very direct. I don't go for people who are actually just playing around, like horsing around and monkeying around. I mean, this is not a circus, boy. So, so go play your game with someone else, And again, the most important thing that I like about here is about lying, because Scorpios, again and again, we will actually detect easily if you're lying. Don't ask us how, but it's just part of our nature that we can easily spot it when you're lying. Especially in my case that I'm also an empath. I could definitely sense when a person is telling the truth or not. And it's funny when some people, they would pretend that, hey, I'm telling you the truth, but it's like for a Scorpio, it's like, oh my God, I saw it, I've sensed it, and then you have the nerve to tell me that you weren't lying. I mean, that is so freaking funny. But yeah, so Scorpios, they hate liars, okay? They hate anything that is fake, anything that is not authentic. Again, because we are very direct people. So if we like you, we like you. We're not going to give you some mixed signals or what. If we don't like you, we don't like you. Simple as that. We don't want to complicate things as much as possible. All right, now let me pause again. And the last one will be about breakups and Scorpio. Okay, this time I got this, or I read this from astroreveal.com. So this is about breakups and Scorpio. So it says here, tread carefully with a Scorpio. Once you've blown it with someone born under the star sign, it's hard to avoid a breakup. It's true that as a fixed sign, Scorpio is resistant to change and doesn't give up easily. But because it's also ruled by Pluto, the planet of endings, once it has finally walked away from a relationship, it's unusual for Scorpio to turn back. And again, that's so true. The trouble is, you're unlikely to know you've upset a Scorpio until it's probably too late. That's true. That's my experience, It's funny how I give chances to other people because, I don't normally, tell them openly, hey, you hurt me. I mean, come on, we're adults here. You're probably, unless you're too insensitive not to feel that you're already hurting someone. So Scorpios, they normally give chances, or in my case, my personal experience, I do sometimes just let it slide off my back. But once, I'm on that breaking point where I'm done, I just don't want this any longer. It's all too late. And that's true. When it says here, the trouble is you're unlikely to know you've upset a Scorpio until it's probably too late. As the most secretive sign of the zodiac, Scorpio's resentments tend to smolder away, hidden beneath an icy cool exterior before the volcano finally erupts. Then it will suddenly spew out all those black marks it's been quietly noting down against you, and there won't be a thing that you can do. What you need to understand is that you can't hide anything from a Scorpio, however hard you try. Their radar intuition and extraordinary powers of detection make them good at sniffing out lies, uncovering secrets, and digging out all kinds of dirt. Scorpios know the best way to gain power over others is to find out as much as possible about them while revealing the minimum about themselves. Now, reasons for breakups with a Scorpio. 9 times out of 10, breakups with Scorpios will be down to some kind of power struggle. Scorpio is the biggest control freak in the zodiac, and if you dump a Scorpio, it's usually because you can't stand any more of their possessiveness. Getting rid of a Scorpio lover might not be that simple, though. This is a sign that sometimes has major problems in letting go and moving on. If a Scorpio dumps you, it could be because you've been getting too bossy or tried too hard to impose your will on theirs. A Scorpio never willingly gives away their personal power to anyone, and however much they claim to love you, that also includes you. The biggest no-no, however, in Scorpio's eyes is betrayal. Once you've broken a Scorpio's trust, they will find it very hard ever to forgive and forget. For good or bad, Scorpio always remembers, and if it gets a chance to pay you back, it will do so, even if it's many years further down the line. A Scorpio lover will reward your allegiance with undying loyalty. In turn, they may punish your betrayal by seeking revenge. Cruelty comes easily to some Scorpios, and you'll meet more bullies born under the star sign than any other. If you're a bit of a wimp and not up to defending yourself, then best steer clear of these guys. All right, but this is so true. I mean, that's so interesting. Yeah. Again, betrayal is the worst that you can do to a Scorpio, because the most important thing for a Scorpio, and always remember this, it's trust. Because again and again, Scorpios are very loyal people. All right. Now, how to win back a Scorpio? If you've broken up with a Scorpio and it's your fault, the best thing to do is honesty. The best thing to do, rather, is honestly admit it. But don't make the mistake of ever pleading or groveling with a star sign. If you make a victim of yourself, most Scorpios will take full advantage of it to push you around and lose all respect for you in the process. If you can't win a Scorpio over by fighting your corner fair and square, it's just better to just give up. Getting back a Scorpio X is far from easy, so it's best not to hope too much. But if you lie low and let them ruminate for a while when they're missing you, there's a chance that they might be prepared to give you another go. Although Scorpio's ruler Pluto symbolizes endings, bear in mind it's also the planet of new starts. So, the 3 ways to avoid breakups with Scorpios. Stand up for yourself. That's number 1. They will lose respect for you if you can easily be pushed around. Number 2, never get into an extended battle of wills. It can quickly turn very ugly. And number 3, which is, I think I would resonate on this more, show your loyalty. Betrayal of trust is the biggest deal breaker for this sign. So there you go. Those are the 3 articles that I've checked out, and hopefully that's also helpful for you listening to this audio. But definitely, all of the things that are written in there, I could really deeply resonate with it. And for the end time, like what I said, Scorpios are very loyal people. So in turn, they would want someone, whether it's a friend or a romantic or a significant other, to be doing the same thing, to also be, to become very loyal and honest, because honesty for Scorpios, it's very, very important, especially that they can detect if you're lying or not, right? So if you are the type of person who lies or does things that makes a Scorpio, distrust you, that's gonna be a big, big issue that the relationship is not going to work. Again, because honesty and loyalty and trust is very, very important for Scorpio people. So anyway, I'm going to share you my personal experience and how all of these examples actually came out in my own personal experience as well. I usually don't want to share personal, stories like this, especially when it comes to the love department. But yeah, I'm going to share it anyway. And I think this is going to be more than 40-minute video, audio rather. But anyway, I've missed doing all about Scorpio audio, so yeah, bear with me. Anyway, the personal experience that I wanted to share was with my first love, and it was a great, great relationship. At first it was awesome. That guy was really, really nice, and we had a lot of things in common. We both loved the Japanese culture, and I remember would even watch this Japanese show every Sunday, and while talking over the phone. I mean, we were that close, and we were that connected with each other. Like, it's always, what do you call this? It's like a routine. Like every Sunday, every 10 o'clock in the evening Sunday, he'd call me up, and then we'd just watch the Japanese NHK Pop Jam together. And it was great. It was great. I even remember his mom was freaking out because he had class the following day. And I would tell him, okay, you know what? Yeah, your mom is right. You should just go to sleep. And he'd do ways, and Scorpios love that. I personally do love it when a guy actually exerts a lot of effort, and he would actually just, suddenly our phone would ring, and then I was really, really surprised that it was him on the other line. And I was like, how did you do that? I think your mom took the phone. And we're not talking about cell phones, because at that time we don't have that. Well, there's already mobile phones at that time, but he was like, yeah, I sneak into my mom's room, and I got the, connection, tried to connect everything again, because it's, it's a phone line, by the way. So it was funny when he did that. I'm just giving you first about how our relationship was. So it was really great. We also go out. He lives very far from where I am. He would visit me every time it's, after school, or not every day though, but there are times he's going to visit me. We'd watch the movies together and all that. He's very protective too. And until it came to a point that, of course, with all the things that he has been doing, he was my first love. I fell in love with him, and I was like, what is this feeling? Like, I was like totally smitten, and I was like, wow, I have this great feeling for this person. And until it came to a point that he would actually call me Okusan. Oksan, which is wife in Japanese. So he would always call me that. And and I would call him goshujin, which is husband. So we would, do silly things like that. And he would actually call me like, terms of endearment, He would always tell me, nice stuffs and all that would make a woman's heart flutter and all that. And there was also one time when I told him that it's like I wanted to get out and go somewhere else, or like I just wanted to end things at first because I'm starting to feel very weird with him. Like I want to detach because he's already starting to send me mixed signals, like he likes you but he doesn't, hot and cold, in and out. And Scorpios, generally women doesn't like that. When a guy does that to you, getting hot and cold, in and out, And so at that time I was like on the verge of giving up, but it didn't happen. I gave him another chance. I gave him another go. And at that time he was saying, he punched the wall and all that. I could hear him freaking out because it's like I'm already saying goodbye to him at that time. And because I was like thinking like, what is this anyway? What are we doing, And it came to a point that sometimes he would give you some things that would make a woman or confused, basically. So he would tell me rather, that he would, make you jealous. He'd make me jealous, or he'd make me feel jealous. Like he would openly like tell me like, you know what, I really like this girl, this Korean classmate of mine, and we actually had, lunch together and blah, blah, blah. And, and was like, whoa, okay, what is this? I mean, I appreciate the honesty as a Scorpio, but it hurts, right? And what are those, lovey-dovey words or things that you've been telling me in the first place? So it's like you don't know where you stand, and the issue here is sending mixed signals, like he likes you but he doesn't, he likes you but it's so confusing. And then he does all of those things. Like sometimes he would just give you a call and all of a sudden, and then you'd ask him, oh, you called early today, and he'd say, yeah, because I just wanted to say I love you. And, it was like, oh my gosh. And then he would just laugh and just, and it was just nothing. And it came to a point that when that time comes where I actually just really, it's not like I openly like ask him because I don't like that, but really like just to clear the air of what's going on between the two of us. He told me, well, you're my friend. And it was like, whoa, it's like a white, oh my gosh. It was like a cold water was splashed on your face. And I was like, oh my God, was I imagining all along? Was I in a fairy tale thingy? Like I thought this guy really likes me, but it turned out that I'm his friend. And what are those lovey-dovey stuffs and all those oksan, the wife thing and all that? I mean, that was terrible. That was the most terrible feeling I've had. That was my experience, my first love experience. And I was still young at that time, so I could totally understand, looking back right now as we speak, it's just so funny. But it was really hard dealing with that because after he said all those things, and he's like, it's so clear to him, like, you're nothing, just a friend. But all the things that he did for you is like nothing, it's just like he's basically like showing you that I'm just doing that because you're my friend, when your logic tells you and your intuition as a Scorpio tells you that's not true. Why are you lying to yourself? And it's funny because it would make I don't know if it's intentionally like making you feel that you are just imagining things when in yourself, your intuition tells you it's not, it's not true. But because he actually wanted to just let you know that you are just his friend, then there's nothing I can do. And so what I did was I slowly distanced myself until we had a meeting, and I met up with him and that was my last goodbye. So I just asked him like to always pursue his studies, like his dream, because he's a musician as well. He loves playing the bass. And so I gave him all the advices, and I told him that it was really great, us talking together and, connecting and all that. And he suddenly felt that I'm, moving away. And he asked me, are you actually going to not see me anymore or not even talk to me anymore? And I said, I'm busy. I lied. Scorpios normally don't lie, but I lied in such a way that I just told him, yeah, I'm just going to focus on some things. But you know what? It's been great. And I just disappeared. And that's how a Scorpio is, really. When they're done, and they never look back. In my case, I never looked back after that. It was a painful breakup for me heartbreak for me, because I was crying for 3 days. I wasn't eating anything, literally, and that was the worst ever. And I don't want to go through all that again. And so, yeah, that was one of the worst for me so far. And like the person rejected you or denied what you're feeling, or denied you or rejected you. So it's like you feel this sudden, pain or a stab in your heart. Like, am I not worth it? Am I not worthy enough of his affection, or to be someone other than a friend, Because at that time, I wasn't really like, we're really like buddies, we're really like good friends, until I fell for that person. But unfortunately, I was told in a different way that this is what's really going on, but looking back, again, that was just so funny. Immaturity and all those things, what pushes people to do that. Not only immaturity, but being in a place, not just a good place, maybe. That's why sometimes they do that. But we were young back then when that happened. And so, yeah, I finally just ended things with him. Like, I told him that I'm just going to focus on other things. And I totally cut off all the connections, the phone number, everything. I totally cut him off, like, at the last meeting, and it was hard at first. It took me a month actually to actually be totally over, and then after how many years, 2010, at that time when we were, together, that was year 2002. And then year 2010, I was so shocked because he actually connected with me at LinkedIn, okay? And I was shocked. He found out, my LinkedIn account. And on the LinkedIn account, he sent me a message and he said, "How are you, my Okusan?" or Oksan. So I was like, oh my God, years after you're still going to connect with me and still call me those terms of endearment like wife. And I actually still, talk to him in such a way, in a very casual way, because I'm not a rude person. I just told him that I'm okay, I'm doing well, hope you are too. And that's it, and he gave me his number, but I never contacted him after that, because it's just so surprising, though. After years, he still tried to look for me, I was shocked, honestly, that he started, like looking for me despite of, those years of not being together. And it's like, what gives, And, but that was it. When I'm done, I'm done. So even though he gave me his number, he asked for my number. When he asked for that, or when he gave out his number, I never texted him. I just didn't reply. Because again, when a Scorpio is done, they never look back. Sometimes they would even turn into an icy queen or king. So those are actually the clear signs when a Scorpio is starting to lose interest on you. In my case, with that personal experience that I just shared right now, I just don't like it when, a person is being so and not acting authentic or trying to lead you on. I don't like that. Giving you mixed signals, or, it's like it's so confusing, don't confuse me, have the energy or the strength to just be yourself, to show who you are. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, then you don't, and at that time I was just really, really confused, because he was even telling me openly, like, not in a joking manner, that wait for me for 5 years, I'm gonna marry you. I'm going to marry you in 5 years. And I was so stupid back then, like so naive. He was my first love. And I was like, really? Oh my God, he's going to marry me. And yeah, at that time I was still immature as well. But my point is, why say all of those things? Why do all of those actions or behavior? And then eventually you tell me, oh, you're just a friend, How worse can that be? Anyway, that's it. Sorry about this uber long 45-minute recording, but those are actually the clear signs when a Scorpio is hurt, or when a Scorpio is really done with you. And some examples of some breakups, how breakups are with Scorpios, and what do they do next after a breakup, or why they decided to break up with someone. Either that's a friend, or, a romantic partner or relationship. So anyway, that's it. Thank you so much, and I'll post anything again soon. All right, bye. See you again.